Welcome back to another episode of Undefendable. We're going to actually be doing some fun little gameplay of the Sun Elf with the Kickstarter coming close to a conclusion. We're not going to use any cards because we don't know exactly what the cards are, nor do we have access to them. We know a couple, but not all of them. So this is purely going to be a game where we're getting role objectives, we're seeing how the defense functions, and we're kind of trying to get into a rhythm of what we think the Sun Elf is going to do. So quick overview, Sun Elf, I would say like she's a mid-range kind of like heal paladin, like a paladin where she heals, but she also wants to do damage. She has some cool things like Sun Marked, where you inflict it on your opponent, and every time you attack them, you heal 2. Charged Gem is a role objective, which, here, I can show you. Well, I thought I could show you. It's right here. During your main phase, you basically roll a die, and you either gain a CP, deal 2 damage, or gain a CP and deal 2 damage. And then she uses this Dusk meter to ultimately amplify her attacks. How we're going to be representing that is with Naira. Naira's going to be our Dusk meter. Once we get up to 5, she'll flip, and then we try to cast an ability with that efficiency. It drains 4 after that, and then once it gets to 0, it flicks back over to Dusk. I think with the Sun Elf, a lot of her mechanics are going to revolve around some of the cards and the Dusk and the dial and things like that. But again, we're making this video purely just to get a rhythm of how she works, how she operates. So the CP here, we're going to be playing against the Barbarian. The CP here isn't really going to be wildly relevant because, again, we don't have any cards to play or things to do. But we're having it here just as a representation of, hey, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. To start this game off, we're going to have the Barbarian go first. So you're probably aware of the Barbarian skills. We're just going to hop in and roll. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a terrible start for the Sun Elf. That's going to be our large straight with the Barbarian. So 15 damage, 4 coming back to the Barb. So let's go ahead and get this back up to here. So the Barbarian is going to take 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's going to be sending 15 defendable over to the Sun Elf. Sun Elf's defensive objective, roll 3. On a 1, 2, or 3, you're going to heal 1, I believe. On 2 of the 4 or 5s, you're going to increase the sundial. And on a 6, you're going to increase the sundial. So let's go ahead. We're going to roll 3 for the Sun Elf. And we will heal 2. And that's it. So we will heal 2. And then we're going to take 15. Ouch. Pretty good start for the Barbarian. Okay, so now it's going to flick over to the Sun Elf, who I believe gains a sundial token on the start of her turn. And then you gain the CP here. And her whole gimmick is we're trying to get that sundial up so we can do some good damage. Role objective-wise, we have Ray of Absorption. Increase the sundial by 3, heal 2. Gain a charged gem. That's probably a pretty good one to do here. Because going second, if we get it to 3 and then 5 the next turn, we can really unload. But we also probably want to get the sun marked on the Barbarian as quickly as possible. So I assume first roll objectives, unless we're like really hitting large straights or solar bursts or ultimates, is going to be right here in the Radiant Energy and Ray of Absorption, and your fallback's going to be Scorching Staff. So let's go ahead and see if we can roll some 4s and 5s. Okay, we have a 4 and a 5 here. We're going to roll again. Okay. Yowza. All right, I think I'm just going to throw it all back. Okay. That is terrible. That's not great. We were going for this Ray of Absorption. We couldn't get an additional eye, or I don't remember exactly what that's called. Whatever that is. We couldn't get that, so we were trying to get something going. We didn't get the 6s, so I mean, ultimately, that's just a 4 damage basic attack, which is not ideal. But let's say hypothetically we had a tip it. Don't judge me. And we tip it to a small straight. Not that we would ever do that, but just for the purposes here, we're going to do the Ray of Light. So the sundial is going to go up 1, and then we're going to be sending 7 defendable over to the Barbarian. Barbarian will defend. He will heal 2 and take 5. Or take 7, sorry. Okay, and that's going to be it for the Sun Elf's turn. We did not really achieve what we wanted to there, but that's okay. It's going to go over to the Barbarian now, who is going to roll his 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, 5, 5. Honestly, I think I'm just going to throw all this back. Ooh, there we go. We have 2 6s. I think we throw all this back again. Oof! Wow, these dice are not being fortunate for us. In means of what we did with the Sun Elf, let's just assume we're going to change this to a 2, and we're going to go Sturdy Blow, dealing 4 undefendable over to the Sun Elf, so she's going to take 4, and then we will pass it over to the Sun Elf. Sun Elf is going to gain a CP, gain a dial on the sundial, and again, I'm trying to think here, because if I get to the 5, is it immediate? Sundial by 1. Whenever this dial reads 5, immediately flip it over. So I'm at 3 right now, and this is where you got to start balancing the Sun Elf's abilities, right? Because if I'm at 3, and I get Ray of Absorption, and I increase by 3, I technically would heal 3 there, but then my dial would go down to 1 at the end of the turn. So I don't think I want to increase my dial by 2 or 3. I probably want to start doing like the 1, something in the 1 range, because I don't want to get to 5 on my turn. So this is really going to be more of like a rolling for a small kind of situation. I mean, we just got Radiant Energy. So we're actually going to do Radiant Energy here. So we are going to inflict the Barbarian with Sunmarked, which is great, okay? So he's inflicted with Sunmarked, which means now when I attack him, I heal for 2. So I'm going to now heal 2 because I have Sunmarked on him. And Sunmarked says when attacked, the attacker heals 2. So I'm healing 2 here. And I'm swinging at the Barbarian for 6. And he is going to heal 2 and then take 6. And we already healed 2 on our side, which is great. So now we're representing Sunmarked with the stun here. And that's a persistent one. It doesn't fall off. And our sundial doesn't go up at all there. So that's kind of okay. I mean, we're hoping maybe we can get a ding up with our dial so we can really roll into something here. But we're going to kick it back over to the Barbarian to roll his dice. Barbarian's going to keep a 6. Ooh. Ooh. So traditionally, I'd probably throw a 6 back and roll the others, but for the purposes of the video, we're going to do that, and we will whiff. But again, just for purposes of trying to get damage output, I probably would have landed on a Sturdy Blow here. So that's going to be 4 undefendable back to the Sun Elf, who now is going to gain a CP, gain a dial, and then begin her roll objective. So now we're at 4, right? So now this small straight actually is pretty interesting, because now this small straight is actually worth 12 defendable damage. The large straight would be 14 defendable damage, and I would heal 1, right? And then even over here, if we hit these sundials, that's going to be good too. So this is where, now that our sundial's in striking distance, we want to go for these big ones. We're not looking for Ray of Absorption. We're not looking for Radiant Energy. We are looking to get as much damage across as possible. And roll 1, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 for a small straight. We'll throw this back, see if we can get a 5. We get the large straight. Bada bing, bada boom. So, large straight for the Sun Elf. Increase your dial by 2. So, we get to 5, we flip, and I cannot go up 1 more because it ends at 5. So, I actually heal 1 from that additional sundial. And now I'm dealing 9 damage, but I get to add the damage from my sundial to that swing, right? Which I believe it says it here. In your offensive roll, if your offensive roll phase results in an attack, you may choose to add the sundial's value as damage. At the end of the roll phase, reduce sundial by 4. Whenever this dial reads 0, immediately flip it. Okay, so we're going to add 5 to this attack, which is going to be a major swing. 9 plus 5, we're doing 14 damage, and we healed 1 from the sundial, and we're going to heal 2 more from the Sunmarked, right? So Barbarian's going to roll defense, he's going to heal 2, and then he's going to take 14 smackaroonies. And that is a big swing. That turn right there was heal 3, deal 14. That is a major, major attack. So, fantastic. Now, at the end of the Sun Elf's turn, she's going to lose 4, but she is still on the Dawn side. It does not flip until it gets to 0, right? So that's important to note, because that means the next attack, if we do, let's say we hit another large straight, we add 2, we could add that 3 damage to the attack, so on and so forth. So we still have this as an attack modifier because it is on the Dawn side. All right, so Barbarian is going to gain a CP and roll. And yeah, he's going to keep that and see if he can get an overpowered, and he does. So he gets overpowered, so we're going to roll these 3. And we do not do well there. That is just 7 damage coming at the Sun Elf. Sun Elf's defense again heals or gains sundial points, which would be fantastic. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Oh, nope, we're rolling 3, not 5. Sorry about that, guys. So we will heal for 2, and then we will take, it was 7, right? Okay, so we're feeling pretty groovy here. We're feeling pretty groovy here. It goes over to the Sun Elf, who gains a CP, gains... Oh, nope, does not gain because we're on the Dawn side. So we're just going to go straight into the roll objectives. And I'm looking to do some damage here, right? So I think at this point, I want to try and find like a Scorched Staff. Because if we can add to the sundial, we can add damage to it, right? Although that's not that great. That's like 8, which isn't terrible. That's still going to be your fallback plan. We could attempt to try and get this up to 5, but just so it stays on the Dawn side here, but nothing really is going to be working for us. So I think ideally we're looking for the straights or the solar bursts here. We already have sun marked on him, and these aren't going to do. So we're looking for this side of the board over here. So ideally we're going to keep a 4 and a 3, and we're going to roll, going for that straight. We got the small straight here. We'll throw back 1 more, and we're going to lock in a small straight. So increase dial by 1, then deal 7. So now we're going up to 2. We're healing for 2 because of the sun marked, and then we're dealing 9 because it's 7 plus the sundial. So 9 coming at the Barbarian, who just is going to take a cool 9 because he did not hit any of his defense. And now, at the end of Sun Elf's turn, she's going to go down, and then this flips back to the Dusk side. All right, so not looking so good for the Barbarian. That was some pretty big surprise damage from the Sun Elf. That was actually pretty cool. That's a lot of damage. And when you get sun marked on her, like she's kind of healing through a lot of it. I mean, that turn was crazy where we healed 1 and we did 14 damage, and then we healed another 2 because sun marked was already on her. Like, that is a nuts combo. If you can get sun marked on your opponent and then hit a sunbeam with 5 on your dial, that's 14 heal 3 or heal at least 2. That's wild. That's very, very strong. All right, Barbarian's going to be rolling. He's going to keep a 6. Oh, this is not good for the Barb. Oh, man. What do we do here? I think as a Barbarian, I'd probably... I don't know what I would do. Maybe I would pivot to try and attempt to find a straight, which we don't. Aye. All right, we have a tip it. Woo! Barbarian tips it to a large straight. Look, go Barb! All right, so just for the purposes of the video and trying to be as optimal as possible, he's going to take 4 damage, and we're going to defend 15 damage with the Sun Elf. That is going to be this one over here. So let's see if I can get it just right here in the bottom of our screen. Perfect. So we're rolling 3. All right, we're going to heal 2 and then take 15. So again, not an ideal defense. We haven't actually had the sundial go up once yet. But, you know, we've healed, I think, 6 to 8 health, which is not terrible from our defense, right? Healing 6 to 8. I mean, it's not good. It's definitely not good, but it's not terrible, right? I assume with how weak this defense is to start, she's probably going to have some sort of an upgrade that allows her dial to go up when she does combos or something like that. But we haven't quite been hitting that stride yet. But we're doing a lot of damage. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting, right? We're getting close to the end game now. I'm on the dusk dial. I'm not adding any damage. So do I want to try and build this up with a ray absorption? Or do I want to try and close it out because he's at 12? I don't think anything on my board is going to deal 12 damage, except maybe my ult into a charged gem. So, yeah, I think I just want to... I think this is a ray of absorption turn, potentially. Let's see. I mean, the dice are going to predict it too, right? That's not a bad start, right? Ray of absorption, we need to get the hearts in this scenario, so we're going to keep these 3 hearts and see if we can hit it. I mean, that's a small. I don't want to be greedy there, so we'll do that and then see if we can hit the large. We do not. So, based on the dice, we're going to take the small straight for the Sun Elf. So, increase dial by 1, and then it's going to be 7 defendable. But I will heal 2 because the Barbarian has the sun marked on him. So 7 defendable, he's going to take it all. His defense has not been going well. So now we're feeling okay, right? We're at 20 health. It's going over to the Barbarian. Unless he lands like a crit bash into a rage or like, you know, something like a crit bash combo into an overpower, I'm feeling pretty okay with where we're at currently. So he's going to roll 3, 4, 5, 6 is a great start. Let's just see. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the ult. 1, 2, 3, 4, or not the ult, the large straight. So he's gonna take 4. He's gonna be on death's door here. He's not too worried because the Sun Elf defense isn't gonna hit back at all. And then Sun Elf's defending 15 and only heals 1, and then gains a sundial from the 6, and then takes 15. All right, back over to the Sun Elf, and we're gonna see if we can close this thing out. We should be able to. There is another small straight. Oop, shit. That was a 6. What do we want ideally here? I mean, we're not... I mean, honestly, I think we're fine. But, yeah. There we go. I guess we just get large straights. That's what we do. This is kind of cool, though, because now we can really close out this game. Her large straight increases the sundial by 2, which flips this over to the dawn side, which now we can add that 5 to the 9. So she's actually swinging at the Barbarian for 14 damage and healing 2 because of the sun marked. Barbarian is feeling it. He doesn't do anything and he collapses and dies. And that is the game. That is the ball game. So, you know... when I was thinking about the Sun Elf, I was thinking like, okay, she's kind of like a support here on things like that. But when you can get that sundial going and you get sun marked and they can't get rid of it, I mean, you're healing likely 3 to 4 points of damage every turn with your defense and sun marked. On top of that, maximizing the sundial value and then being able to use it as an attack modifier twice in a row seems pretty strong. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. Kind of going over some of these heroes with just this role-playing situation. You know, let me know in the comments. But appreciate you watching, and we'll chat soon. Have a good one.